Welcome, everyone, to Tasker Arena. Time for Hobbs Lady Eagles Volleyball. It's match number 2 tonight as the Hobbs Lady Eagles take on the Portales Rams. It should be a big game here as both teams have played once this season, and this will be the grudge match. The Lady Eagles losing to Portales back on March 9th. Final score in that one, 3-1. Portales open up 25-16 in the first game, 25-19 in the second. Hobbs getting their win in Game 3, 25-20, and then a close one in the fourth set, 25-21 in favor of Portales. So the Rams come in with a very stellar record at this point as they sit at 5-0 on the season. Hobbs just improved to 2-3 with the win over Lovington earlier today in a 2-1 matchup. They were in the first game. It was or 3-0, I should say, 25-15, 25-12, and 25-19. So a good, impressive performance there for the Hobbs Lady Eagles to pick up that second win of the season. Some great job in terms of offense for Anaya Joseph. Of course, she is just a sophomore, or make that a freshman. 10 kills in that 3-game contest with Lovington. Also, Janiyah Williams had 3 herself, 3 for Elise Turbiatis, and a couple other girls getting kills as well. But definitely a great performance, getting that victory over the arch rival from Lee County. But this game tonight, probably a little bit more tough in terms of an opponent. Portales does come from the same district as the Hobbs Lady, or as the Lovington Lady Cats. So, but they are one of the tops usually in the state. Last year, they were 4th in the 4A, at least in terms of the standings at the end of the season. Went in as a 4th seed at the state tournament and lost before they got to the championship bracket. So definitely a force to be reckoned with. We did mention that they did beat the Hobbs Lady Eagles earlier this season. Last year, Portales went 19-7 and 4-2 in their district. Hobbs beat them in the first game of the season on August 27th. Final was 3-1 in favor of Hobbs, but after that, Portales went on a 15-match winning streak. So definitely got themselves turned around. They had several wins against Lovington, 3 to be exact, and they also came back and beat Hobbs on September 10th, 3-0. So definitely a very good team. The first time the Hobbs beat them, though, it went 4 games. Hobbs won 25-19 in the first game, also 25-23 in Game 3, and 27-25 in the deciding one. Portales won the second game 25-19. But again, as I mentioned, they came back later in the season and knocked off the Lady Eagles 3-0. Now, Portales went 1-3 in the playoffs at the state tournament. They lost to Goddard 3-2, which is one of the top teams in the state. They also lost to Academy 3-0 and Hope Christian 3-2. Beat Mayamira 3-0. So this team typically is into the state playoffs, getting a chance for a berth year after year. Also very tough in girls basketball as well. This should be a very good performance for both squads tonight. Of course, this is the second game, as we mentioned, for Hobbs. Portales got here about 2 hours ago, right after the Lovington match was wrapped up. So they've had a chance to get themselves prepared. They had some freshman and JV games going on prior to this one. So we're expecting some real good stuff from both of these squads. Of course, they only going to play, this is the last one for this season, the second game of the series, March 9th. And today, they'll be going into the Lovington district, taking on Roswell, etc. And definitely should be some good matches there, too. Hobbs will be wearing their black uniforms with white numbers and black shorts. And Portales is going to be wearing, looks like they've got black on at this point. I'm kind of surprised to see both teams in black, unless those are just their practice jerseys over the top. But we'll have to see if that'll be taken care of here in just a minute. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for your Hobbs Lady Eagles, Elise Turbiatis, the outside hitter, number 1. She'll be in there, along with Wisdom Anthony, the setter, number 4. Sari Gutierrez, number 5, a starter. Coming in, 2, will be Arciana Jimenez, number 6. Anaya Joseph, the outside hitter, one of their top scorers, number 7, and Mackenzie Hand, the middle hitter, at number 10, the starting lineup for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. For Portales, their setter, number 1, Madison Blakely, number 2, Kenzie Davis, the outside hitter, Therese Rippey will be out there as well, number 6, Reagan Courtney, outside hitter, number 7, Kylie Payton, middle blocker, number 11, and Adriana Garcia, the middle blocker, number 14. Head coach of Portales is Ruth Chavez, and for your Hobbs Lady Eagles, Coach Williams. We're taking a break. National Anthem live here at Tasker Arena. Back here at Tasker Arena, Hobbs Lady Eagles taking on the Portales Rams as we get ready for game number 2 of the doubleheader tonight. Hobbs winning over Lovington 3-0 earlier with their second win of the season, 2-3 record, and Portales sitting at 5-0. So exciting to see how this game is going to transpire. Once again, both teams are wearing black uniforms. I don't know if that was a mistake. Usually you got to have one in white, but that's the way it's going to be. Hopefully I can keep track of who's who. I'm going to try to figure out how this is going to work because both of the liberos for the teams are wearing white over the top of their black uniforms, so that's not going to help me either. Although I see, I think Hobbs has got the size advantage. That should help me at the front of the net to make sure we keep these two teams apart. And of course, they're going to stay on the same side of the court due to COVID, so that will make sure that we won't get them mixed up as they switch courts, which will not happen tonight. Last year, this Portales team was kind of in a logjam in the district. Goddard, Artesia, and Portales all had 4-2 records, and because of the way they got the tiebreaker going, Portales came in at the number 4 seed at the state tournament. Goddard finished up at 20-5, Artesia 18-6, and Portales at 19-7. They've always been some good competition for the Lady Eagles. They are a division lower than Hobbs, but these matches are pretty close. As we said last year, they split 1-1 in those two competitions that they did have. Of course, we are the coverage for Hobbs Lady Eagles Sports. We're going with you on YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com, both with the audio and the video, which will continue next week as well, and the following week. Even during spring break, there'll be some matches coming to you live. Of course, we had some football last night. The Hobbs boys going up against Lovington, and unfortunately a 3-point loss in that situation. If you want to check out the sporting schedules, a couple of places you can do that. HobbsAmerica.com. You can get the schedules there by clicking on the logo for Hobbs Eagles Sports, or you can use the HobbsSchools.net when they have their live productions, a big list and a schedule for everybody that's playing soccer, volleyball, football, and then basketball coming up pretty soon. I know how I'm going to tell the difference between these two teams. Portales numbers are red, thankfully, and Hobbs going to wear the white ones. So we got the starting lineups already taken care of. Saw some great front play for the Hobbs Lady Eagles in the first matchup tonight, earlier today, I should say, as we had a great job for Turbiatas getting up strong over the net. And, of course, Nia Joseph, one of the youngsters out there, leading the team in kills with 10 unofficially. So we're ready here for some action. Get live on HobbsAmerica.com, the audio and also the video on YouTube. You can, by the way, catch those games in the archives. If you haven't got a chance to watch them or you want to see them again or see your family members or whatever, you can do that. And we'll be having all the home matches at this point. Portales will serve first. Madison Blakely, the setter. Take care of the chore here from the left side of the service line. With a jumping serve, gets it in over across to Cantu, the libero. They'll set up and a smash down, doing the spike, and it's going to hit the ground as well. Nice job for Anaya Joseph at the kill as she knocks it down to the floor right in front of the front net right side. Is trying to get a grip on it was Kinsey Davis. So first point of the ball game for the Hobbs Lady Eagles, leading 1-0. Serve comes back deep. That was Cantu to start. Put back over the net by Portales with two hands by Kinsey Davis. The set to the left side. Here comes once again another kill opportunity. Anaya Joseph puts it home. Already 2 kills to her name, 2 points. And the Lady Eagles up early, 2-0. Once again, Cantu will get a new ball. We have to switch those out due to COVID regulations. And the masks, of course. She'll serve from the left side, a jump serve, a high one. Libero coming up with it from behind. Up in the air with a little tap shot to the back line. Good sight on the court of the Hobbs Lady Eagles that time as the push from the top of the net by Kinsey Davis for the point. Score now 2-1. Still favor the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Davis will serve from the deep left side of the line. Jump serve as well. Gets it down low. Trying to get underneath it is Joseph, left of the court, but couldn't get the fist underneath the ball. It kind of comes off the side of her knuckle and out of bounds on the far side. So Portales ties it up at 2-2. Davis reloads, fires off the serve over the near side. Bumped by Joseph, saved on the outside by Jimenez, and returned over the top by Anthony. Touch pass over the top, pulled down by Jimenez, setting it back up, and a little shove over the side there by Joseph. Joseph will get underneath it again. She'll get set up by Anthony and then slams it down on the near sideline, right in the floor in front of Madison Blakely for Portales and puts it home. Joseph now with 3 kills so far and gets the lead back up to 3-2. Hannah Souter just checks in. She'll serve now. The setter for Hobbs on the left side. Down the near sideline to Davis. They'll set up on the left wing. Spot shot for Reagan Courtney. Slips off a couple of Lady Eagle defenders. Jimenez gets a piece of it and trying to chase it down with Cantu. Ball's going to hit in and be the point for Portales. Tied up at 3-3. Very close game so far. Both teams wearing black. Red numbers for Portales, white for Hobbs. Good serve. Getting a piece of it with 2 hands is Joseph. Gets it back from Jimenez and then fires it right into the net off her left arm that time. Portales gets their first lead of the game, 4-3. Slated for 5 if needed, best of 5. Davis sends it long. Out of play. Correction, that wasn't Davis. That was Kylie Payton. So Hobbs will go tied up again, 4-4. Left side serve now for Joseph. Into the middle of the court. Ball set up and kind of low, and that's going to cause a dig right into the net by Reagan Courtney. Missed the outside hitter, and Courtney had to come up to try to save that one to keep the ball in play. So Hobbs picks up the point on the left of the net. Hobbs Lady Eagles serving from right to left. You're watching our video right now, which you should be. Hard serve over to the far sideline, and Portales trying to save it over the top of the head, and getting it in play is Terrace Rippey. At the other end, slamming hard is Williams. Gets a ricochet, gets it back off the set. Little touch shot down the middle of the floor to Madison Blakely, who recovers. The touch over the side by Davis. Set up back door for the Lady Eagles, and a slam down for the kill on the right of the net by Mackenzie Hand, her first kill of the game. And Hobbs up 6-4, lead by 2. On the serve now, left side. Firing across Joseph to the back line. Ball gets hit into the net. Joseph saves on the near side for Hobbs, and then Williams goes out of bounds to bring it in. Return back deep as she put it up towards the top of the net was Hand, but it soars over the back line over Portales, out of bounds. So the Rams will get the point. 6-5. Checking in for the Rams is Riley Schillings, the setter. She'll serve. And give me a second on some of these Portales numbers. The red is not very much outlined. Hard to tell what that second digit is. Bear with me. I don't like making excuses. Touch over the top for Anthony at the last second. It comes back over to the Hobbs side. No, it's going to drop Portales first, and then they're going to go ahead and get that for the Lady Eagles. Bring up to 7-5 now. Depth perception kind of hard up here in the booth up top of the Tasker Arena. Low serve at the bottom of the net for the Lady Eagles. That was Hand to give a point back to the Rams, 7-6. Rechecking is Cantu, the libero for Hobbs. And now Reagan Courtney to serve for Portales. Middle of the service line. She'll jump serve, leans into it. Good bump, middle of the court by Joseph. Set up for Williams with the spike down the middle of the court. Portales is going to come back with it. They get set up on the left side, and the kill opportunity from left to right by Kinsey Davis. Her first scoring opportunity. Ties up the score at 7-7. Here in the first period, Portales here at Tasker Arena to take on the Lady Eagles. Jump serve coming for Courtney down low. Getting on the floor is Joseph, digging underneath it. Little push shot there for Turbiatis. Got the fingertips on and shoves it down to the far sideline. Hits before the line and gets the point. Regaining the lead 8-7. We're going back and forth here at Tasker. Wisdom Anthony to serve now, one of the youngsters for the Lady Eagles. Just a sophomore, serving from the right side. Back deep to the libero. They'll be set up from behind on the right. Spike by Adriana Garcia. Return from the other side for the Hobbs Lady Eagles by Joseph. Here comes Portales. A spot shot deep left corner, and getting it to go down was Adriana Garcia. Saw the court, a little bit of a gap down there, and gets the point. And now we are tied 8-8. The libero is going to serve now for Portales. Sends it back deep to the back line. A set up from Anthony at the net. Coming over the top, and I believe there might have been a touch on the net. And they're going to say, yeah, it hit the post. As trying to push it across was Williams. So Portales takes the lead now, 9-8. Coach Williams is stepping out on the court. Thought she was going to ask a question of the referee, but Comes back off the line there. Having a discussion, the bottom official is kind of moving back and forth. They're trying to get everything reorganized here. I'm not sure what that was a question about. Here's the serve. Back to the near sideline to Williams. Sets up Anthony. Anthony will go back to Williams on the give and go. Ball ricochets off the net on the spike and comes back on the Hobbs side. Portales scores. Their biggest lead now is 2, 10-8. Still in the first game of the 5-game set. Back to the serve. Back deep near side to Williams. They try to put it to the net. Anthony able to get it back in play. Back to Portales, setting it up is Schillings. Touch shot over the top by Garcia. Hobbs has it now. Spike by Williams on the left of the net. Set up for Portales. They go with a spike and a kill, and on the right side getting it down for the Rams is Rebecca Courtney, her first scoring opportunity. And we got a timeout on the court. Portales leads 10-8 here in the first game. We'll take a break, 60 seconds, as we go back to our sponsors.
Great same-day service, guaranteed. Friendly, fast, professional too. A-Tech, get the job done right the first time. Your comfort is our concern. A-Tech, air conditioning and heating. Call 392-5307. A-Tech.
See our ad on page 6 in names and numbers.
Welcome back to live action here at Task Arena after Hobbs Lady Eagle timeout. It's a Portales serve. They lead 10-8. Lady Eagles with a big kill opportunity there for Joseph, who couldn't get it to drop. Gets blocked twice and getting some great swats at it. Kylie Payton twice. This one goes into play and hits the floor on the Hobbs side. So a couple of blocks in a row. She got up big that time. Got her hands outstretched. Payton, the 6'1" junior middle blocker, got some size up front for Portales. Their biggest lead is 3, 11-8. Another serve, this time going to be out for the libero. And Hobbs now down 2, 11-9. Close match so far here in game 1. Janiah Williams will serve from the right of the line. Takes a deep breath, jumps, serves, back to the far sideline, and goes off the fingertips, double hand that time, off of Kinsey Davis for the point. She tried to set that and got caught in her hands for a second and just kind of wailed off to the sideline. Another jump serve coming for Williams, right back to the middle this time in the back line. The set on the right side, spike by Courtney is blocked momentarily, picked up by the Lady Eagles. Joseph tries to unload on the spike. It's blocked again on the far side by Davis on the net and goes out of bounds. Point for the Lady Eagles. Tied up at 11. Both teams have got about a 1 or 2 point lead, and then it's gone back the other way. Third serve for Williams, sends it down that far sideline, and it's going to go out of bounds. Point to Portales. Subs are coming from both sides. For Hobbs, it'll be Arciana Jimenez. And coming in for Portales, Madison Blakely returns, and she'll go to serve. 12-11 Portales here in the first game. Everybody set, ready to go after the subs. The jump set, or serve I should say, is brought up by the Lady Eagles, top of the net. Joseph tries to return it with 2 hands. Over to Portales' side. The spike opportunity on the right side is drilled down on the floor by Tegan Faust, who had just checked in. Tegan Faust for her kill. Now 11-13. Portales by 2. Very even balanced game so far. Jump serve coming down the far sideline. Digging it out of the floor is Cantu, but it goes low. Trying to get it out to Joseph on the near side. And a point for the Rams. Their biggest lead now 3, 14-11. Again, Hobbs 2-3. Portales at 5-0 on the season. Jump and the serve. Dug out on the backside by Gutierrez. Spike at the top by Turbiatis. Portales get another shot at it. A sidewinder spike on the near side. A setup over to Patton. Slams it down in the middle of the court and puts it down for the point and the kill. That's Patton's first kill. 15-11, extending to a 4-point lead now for the Rams. Blakely goes back on the left side, gets it over to Cantu, the libero. Errant pass by Jimenez, goes to the back line. Hobbs gets it over from Joseph. Portales now going to play around with it. Two-hand return for Courtney. Setting up is Anthony left side. Sidewinder kill. There's Anaya Joseph, K number 4, and scores for the Lady Eagles. They're 12 points. 15-12. That'll send Cameron Cantu back for the libero to serve. She'll come to the left side of the line. Sends it back deep to the libero for Portales. The set down the middle, push shot over the top by Courtney. Hobbs doing a good job to defend it. Joseph with the spike and hits it down towards the back line for Portales. Didn't even get off her feet that time. Flat foots it using her size and gets the point for the kill. That'll be 5 for her. 15-13. Hobbs down by 2 to serve. Deep for Cantu, past the back line at the other end. And it'll go back to Portales. So both teams are trying to get that extra oomph to try to get a little bit of a gap between them and their opponent. Biggest has been so far with Portales with 4. Jump serve coming on the left side. It'll be in the net. Hobbs will pick up a point off the serve of Kylie Payton. 16-14. Coach Williams goes to her bench, brings back Hannah Suter, who will go back and do the serving for the Lady Eagles on the left side. Only player on the court wearing that white headband, just like the last game. And she serves it right in the middle of the net. Point for Portales, 17-14. Back to serve for the Rams, Kylie Payton, the middle blocker. She's got some size, 6'1", has a lot of blocks so far. Dug out on the serve, but it goes out on the far side to Jimenez. Didn't get control on it that she wanted, and a point for Portales. 18-14. Quickly returning to her serve spot left is Payton with a 4-point lead, matching the biggest of the game. Boy, this one hits the bottom of the net. I think she kind of looked down at the last second, giving a point to the Lady Eagles on the errant serve. Janiyah Williams will check back in for Arciana Jimenez. Talks to Coach Williams just a second. And now we've got Anaya Joseph to serve hard from left to right. Dug out by Rippey. Set up on the left side to Courtney with the spike. Put back up by Cantu. And then they get unloading to Williams. She puts up a spike as well. Comes over the net to Portales. And Portales returns on a hard shot, but it's going to be too long. Is getting a piece of it was Rippey, but it sails past the back line for the Lady Eagles court. Point for Hobbs. 16-18. Hobbs down by 2. We go to 25 win by 2. Turbiatis fires a hard one to Joseph to the right corner. Couple of bump passes over the net for Portales from Garcia. Returned by the Lady Eagles by hand. Set up back door for Portales to Courtney. She gets it knocked back by the Lady Eagles. Nice touch by Anthony. Another set for the Rams, and a spike comes out towards Coach Williams. I don't think it hit the floor. Adriana Garcia, as it did go out of bounds. Hard shot, but not in play. 17-18. Hobbs down by 1, can tie it up with this serve. Joseph will go back deep to the left corner, and it's going to go off the hands of Courtney. She tried to bump it back on the pass, but it sails out of bounds. Kind of shuffled it off to the left, tied up at 18 now. Joseph will continue to serve, goes right back to her, and this time low. She tries to get on the floor, and it goes off her arms again, so having some trouble now is Courtney getting it out of her head. And the Hobbs Lady Eagles take a lead, 19-18. We'll take a quick 60-second break. You're listening live to Hobbs Lady Eagles Volleyball on YouTube and, of course, HobbsAmerica.com.
Forest Tire. Whether it's roadside assistance, a new battery, brakes, an alignment, a new set of tires for around town, off-road or work, or just a flat tire, being there is what matters most. That's why Michelin packs more innovation inside its tires to maximize performances without sacrificing capabilities, so you can continue to go the extra mile to be there for the ones who matter most. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
Hobbs Lady Eagles have a lead. It's been a while since they've had a point lead, 19-18, but Joseph continues to do well for the Hobbs Lady Eagles with 5 kills, and she continues to serve to try to keep this game in their hands. Serves it back deep to the back line to Davis, and she tries to get it up in the air, but the libero can't get to it, and it drops to the floor. Hobbs with their biggest lead, 20-18 late here in the first game. Joseph will be back to that left line to serve. Fires it hard down to the back again to Davis. Tried to be a tip, but we got a penalty coming over the top of the net. They're calling it against Hobbs for trying to block that time. I think they're going to call that on Williams. And Coach Williams does not like in the call. She's going to send her captain, Joseph, over there to have the discussion with the official. She thought there was just a joust going on, but the point for Portales. Called the roofing penalty above the net. Basically, you cannot come over the top to block somebody else's return on the other side of the net, but I'm not sure. Coach Williams is arguing that she just had her hands kind of a mirroring, not really coming over the net. Coach Williams still talking to the official up top, not liking the call there, but it is 20-19 regardless, and it will be a Portales serve. Jump serve from the left side. Dug out, but off the arms of Suter. It's saved back there on the right by Joseph. And then the ball hits the floor as it gets tipped off the hands of the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Tied up at 20 now. This thing's got to go down to the wire. Remember, you got to win by 2. Here's the jump serve for Portales. Little bump, and then a double block coming over the top of the net for Portales. The middle blocker taking care of business on that rotation. That was Adriana Garcia who scores. And we got a 21-20 ball game. Portales by 1. Serve comes back deep. Cantu at the bump, but over the net to Portales. Up in the air by Schilling. Goes back door with it, and a big-time kill on that near sideline is putting it down was Rebecca Courtney. So now Portales up by 2 late, 22-20. Coach Williams calls a timeout for the Lady Eagles and wants to talk about it. We'll keep it right here at Tasker Arena. 22-20, Portales by 2. This is the first game of a potentially 5-game matchup. We mentioned earlier this season, March 9th, Portales hosting the Hobbs Lady Eagles and winning 3-1. Hobbs did win that third game, 25-20. Close fourth game as well, 25-21 in favor of Portales for the final win to put it in the books. Hobbs did score 16 and 19 in the first and second games. 22-20. Portales will serve after the timeout. Comes across, dug out by Cantu. Set up to the left side to Williams. Little touch shot down to the Portales side. They'll come back with a tip over the top. We got somebody bumping in the net, and that was the girl that tipped it. The middle blocker getting a piece of the threads that time is Garcia to give the Lady Eagles a point. 21-22, Hobbs down by 1. Trying to get their way back into this match, at least the first game of it, I should say. Serve came across from hand. Going to be returned on the right side with a spike by Courtney. Hobbs will do some good defense. Williams going to go up strong. Sidewinder. Comes back to Hobbs. Quick jab by Anthony across. Portales goes backside with the spike on the right wing. Garcia and gets it off on the arms of Joseph on the back line. Sails off to the far sideline out of bounds. And Portales up by 2. Getting late here in this first game, 23-21. Serving for the Rams, Reagan Courtney. She'll be at the middle of the service line. Jumps and throws it across. Oh, it comes over the net. Looked like it was going to tangle up and stay on the Portales side. Instead, somehow it kind of gets a flip and goes over. She got real lucky on that one. Ugly, but it does get the job done. And it's a game point now for Courtney. 24-21. She'll send a long one over the far sideline to Cantu. Bumps it in the air. And now the spike from the left by Joseph gets it over. Portales cleanly plays at the other end. Coming on the left side, the spike Rippey. Looks like it sails out of bounds, but I think it was last touched by the Lady Eagles on the near side as chasing it down was Cantu. The point will go off the tip on the near sideline. So the 25th point of the first game going to Portales. 25-21 the final. Game 1 of the potentially 5-game series here at Tasker Arena. We'll take a quick break, come back live here on YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Market volatility, earthquakes, recent layoffs, we've all been impacted during these turbulent times. I'm Shane Wesselter, CEO and founder of Gateway Insurance Group, Gateway Financial Advisors. With over 200 offices and representing all 50 states, we can help. Whether you have questions about the market volatility, whether you should buy, sell, or just write it out, whether you have questions about rolling your 401k to a private IRA, maybe you have questions about the recent premium deferral program for auto and home insurance. Regardless of what your questions are, give us a call, 858-GATEWAY. We are open and have staff and advisors willing to assist. In New Mexico, we have offices in Albuquerque, Clovis, Hobbs, and Santa Fe. We're happy to assist, even if we're not your current advisor. In New Mexico, you can give us a call at 505-585-5595.
For the local Hobbs office, call 393-4577.
We're all in this together. Be smart and stay healthy.
Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer, and member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Gateway Financial Advisors Incorporated and Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated are not affiliates.
Back at Task Arena, the Hobbs Lady Eagles lose game one, 25-21 to Portales. As we head to the second game, we should mention Anaya Joseph coming up with 5 kills unofficially for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. And for Portales, they had several girls with a kill apiece, Davis, Faust, Payton, and Courtney, and also get the win. As we get ready for game two, again, if you're just tuning in, we got 2 teams with black uniforms. Of course, the Lady Eagles winning a 3-0 match with Lovington earlier today. So they're getting a lot of their work done on a Saturday. Hobbs will serve. Starting it off will be Arciana Jimenez. First serve comes to the near side. Dug up by Madison Blakely and just knocked over by Tegan Faust. At the other end, it's a big slam down on the kill. Nice setup by Anthony. And putting it down is Turbiatis for the kill. 1-0 Hobbs leading early. Kind of how it started in the first matchup with Portales. A little bit of a delay here. They try to get the extra ball out of the way. A official stepped out and had a discussion, looked like with Coach Williams. Scoreboard says 99-1. I know that's not right. Well, Portales was clapping on that one. I'm not sure what happened. But ball's going to go back to Portales. It's 1-1 now, so I didn't see the signal. Not sure if it was a rotation issue or what. Dig on the serve by Cantu. They'll set up. Big-time swinger, Elise Turbiatis, and she just slams it down to that far side. No chance to get underneath it for Reagan Courtney, so Hobbs takes the lead 2-1. Second kill already in game 2 for Turbiatis. Love to have those two in the front, Joseph and Turbiatis. Errant serve by Cantu on the near sideline, goes out of bounds. Portales ties it up at 2-2. Sub back in for the Rams is Adriana Garcia. Back to serve is Kylie Payton. Long one past the back line of the Lady Eagles. And they'll get the 3-2 lead. Checking in for Hobbs is Hannah Souter. Scoreboard is showing 2-2. I'm not sure if that's correct. We'll watch that very closely. I'll change the score regardless. Portales with a set towards the middle. Slapped down by Garcia. Hobbs gets it back, and here comes the Lady Eagles. A kill by Anaya Joseph. Saw the back line open from the left of the net and just powered it down there and gets the point. First kill here in the second game. She has 6 overall unofficially. Souter's going to serve for the Lady Eagles out of bounds on the left. And a point for Portales. It tied up at 3. Subs are going to come in now. Going back to serve for Portales is Riley Schillings. Tied up at 3. Big stack in the front for the Portales Rams. Jump serve coming from the left of the line. Set by Anthony, middle of the net. Big spike on the right side by Hand. It's deflected and then knocked into the net by Portales. Rebecca Courtney couldn't get a hand on it the right way and scoops it right underneath. Hobbs takes the lead now 4-3. Couple of bounces for Turbiatis. Or correction, that's Joseph serving from the left side. And boy, she pinpoints that serve deep to the left corner. Charging up the sideline for Portales was Haley Disney. But or actually that Riley Schillings, but was not sure where that ball was going to come down. Just pinned it in the corner, did Joseph. Now it's time sends it to the back line. It's bumped up ahead. Shot made on the left by Courtney, returned by the Lady Eagles, and we got a whistle. And they're going to say the Lady Eagles scooped the ball and kind of shoved it over the net. So Coach Williams not liking that call, but a point for Portales, making it 4. They're still trailing Hobbs 5-4. Here's the serve for Courtney. Down the middle. Good dig for Souter. Saved on the near side by Williams. They get it over. Over by Anthony. Set on the other end for Portales. Big swing for Garcia, and it goes down hard on the floor. Joseph on the floor, kind of rolling around, trying to make a stop on it, but it is going to hit the hardwood. Tied up at 5. Back to the line, and the serve goes Courtney, middle of the line. Long serve out past the back line of the Lady Eagles. Point Hobbs, they lead 6-5. Returning for Hobbs will be Elise Turbiatis on that front line. Got some big size up there, along with Janiyah Williams. Lady Eagles put a hot one over the net by hand on the serve. They'll set up on the near side of Courtney, and a hard slam right between two of the Lady Eagles, Joseph and Souter on the near side. As a point for Portales to tie it back up at 6. The barrel's going to unload it for Portales right into the net, so Hobbs gets a little freebie there, making it 7-6. And the Lady Eagles are going to go to their bench, bring in Sarari Gutierrez. She comes in for Suter. The setter, Wisdom Anthony, now on the right side of the service line. Flat hands it across. Dug out for the Portales Rams, a high one. Spiked by Courtney, and it hits the floor. Call that a kill for Courtney. Trying to come up to it is Cantu from that libero position. Tried to charge up with two hands on the fist on the floor, but could not come up with it. So Courtney will get her second kill of the contest. 7-7, we're tied. Here come the Rams now, trying to get the lead. Here's Madison Blakely from the left of the service line. And it shanks off the arms of Joseph. Try to get around on the pass there, and kind of got a left to right washing machine look. Portales gets the lead at 8-7. Back to Blakely now. She looks back behind herself. Gets the jump and the serve. Right back in the same place. Good play by Joseph up in the air. Having to save it outside is Turbiatis behind her head. Portales doing the same with Blakely on the right side, and just a little touch push by Courtney over to the Lady Eagles. Here comes Williams with a spike to the back line. Saved by Portales. Diving bump. Getting it over with two hands is Courtney. Set up the Lady Eagles on the right wing. Anthony back deep to Joseph with a slam, but it gets played by Portales. Set up by Courtney near the net. A spike on the way, and it's not going to get in the court. Blakely just barely past that back line. And getting the point for the Lady Eagles. Out of bounds. Tied up at 8. Another sub for the Lady Eagles is Arsenio Jimenez, as she'll come in for Williams to serve. Arciana Jimenez, excuse me. Kind of like the first game, back and forth. Lady Eagles trying to make it 2-0 on this Saturday. Like these doubleheaders. Jimenez will serve it to the back line. Set up, and the spike blocked is going up high for it. Was Terrace Rippey. Tip over for the Lady Eagles, but Turbiatis goes the wrong way with it to the back line. Turning and firing those Turbiatis on the left side and right into the net. She got kind of spun around that time. Didn't know where that ball was coming off of Turbiatis. And Portales takes a 1-point lead, 9-8. Rippey will serve from the left side of the service line. Gets it over to Joseph. Two-hand pass. Gets it back from Anthony. Just kind of flips it over the net. Here comes Portales at the other side, left wing. Courtney slams it hard. Here come the Lady Eagles with the setup, and there is the score for Joseph, high above the net left, and puts it down to that far sideline. Shanking it off Terrace Rippey for the point. Ties it up at 9. Lady Eagles losing set 1. And now here comes Cantu, serves it to the other libero at the back line. They'll set up on the left wing to Courtney. Fires it down, dug up by Cantu. Set up at the top of the net. Pushed over with some good fingertip control by Hand. Here come the Lady Eagles as they get it back from Portales. A windup by Joseph. She gets it blocked, middle of the net, and it comes right back to the floor of the Lady Eagles. Getting up high forward was Payton. Again, she gets up high because she's 6'1", and gets a 1-point lead for Portales, 10-9 here in the second game. Rams are up 1-0 overall in the set, or the match, I should say. Dig for Gutierrez on the serve. Free ball is getting it over as Cantu, and she tries to just pass it over with two hands on the fist action, and it goes past that back line, out of bounds. 11-9 Portales. Back to the service area is Payton, left side. Turns and fires. Deep, and a good job for Cantu just to kind of turn and let that go past her on the right service line in her backcourt. 11-10, Hobbs down by 1. Shuffling over to the right side for the Lady Eagles, Gutierrez. Coach Williams tells her to move over a little bit. Saw something up court she liked. Gutierrez will fire it down to the middle back. Trying to go up and make a block as it came back over from Portales. Was hand. She completely missed it. And a point for Portales. They go up 12-10. Coach Williams has some words for her, trying to get her girls shifted around just a bit to reset. Riley Schillings, the setter for Portales, up to serve now. On the left side of the line, Hobbs was late with the sub as Clay will have to take a seat. Jump serve comes back deep. Pass by Jimenez up top to Anthony. They'll spot it up over to left wing, and there's a slam down for Anaya Joseph. Shanks it off the back of Riley Schillings on that back line and out of bounds. So Hobbs now trailing 12-11. Turbiatis to serve left side. Wanting to tie it up here with her first opportunity. Goes back deep, dug out by Courtney on the back line. They'll set up on that far sideline. Little chop shot over. Good touch by the Lady Eagles to get it over Anthony. It looked like her shoulder brushed the net. So they're going to call the net call on Anthony. She tried to go up over the top, and that'll give Portales a 2-point lead, 13-11 here in game 2. So just 4 days ago, these two teams played in Portales. Here's the serve from Courtney. Middle of the line, goes down low. Cantu digs it out. Touched back over by Portales. Set up by Anthony. Backdoors it. A little touch shot for Hand, and here comes the Rams again. They'll set up their big outside hitter. That's Rippey, and she rips one hard. Hobbs can play some good D. Tipped over by Janiyah Williams, and it hits the floor right in the middle of the hardwood. She saw a little gap on that Portales defense and pushed it through to make it 12-13, 1-point deficit. Lady Eagles serve from the left side, and that will be Hand. A set to the left wing. Here comes Rippey, and her shot hits the net. Double block. They're going to say a legal hit there. Looked like Rippey, as she tried to come back with it, might have scooped it up there. And we're tied back at 13 now. Who's going to make the big mistake here to get up by more than one? That's the question. Spike comes over from the right side, a double block for the Lady Eagles from Courtney, and going up strong for it that time, number 1 and 2, Turbiatis and Williams, but it comes down between them, and the point for Portales, who now leads 14-13. Jump serve for the libero for the Rams. Down the middle of the court to Turbiatis, set up by Portales, backside, slam by Rippey. Cantu gets a piece of it, bounce around the basketball rim on the back line, trying to save it is Turbiatis, and it's going to go out of bounds again on that back line. Hobbs did the best they could with that, almost rolling on the glass on that backboard. And now Portales extends their lead to 2, 15-13. Here's the jump serve. Down low, dug out of the ground by Souter over to Portales. The setup, the middle, Rippey goes up and tries to spike it. It ricochets off the net back to her, and that'll be a point for the Lady Eagles. Sub for Hobbs coming in, Sarai Gutierrez. She checks in for Hand. Now the serve for the Lady Eagles. Anthony, Wisdom Anthony on the right side of the line. Kind of a push shot, dug out of the ground for Portales. Well, lefty return by Courtney. Set up by the Lady Eagles. Anthony, middle of the net. Last second, Williams turns and tries to push it over, but she didn't know how close to the net she was and kind of shot puts it right in the middle of the net. And a point for Portales, 16-14 now. Rams will go to their bench, bring in Tegan Faust, and back to serve will be Madison Blakely, the setter. 16-14, the Rams by 2 here in the second game. Jump serve for Blakely, left side. Dug out by Cantu, set up back, and boy, we got a two-touch there for the Hobbs Lady Eagles, so that will be the penalty, and it will go over to Portales. That's got their biggest lead now, 17-14. Couple miscues, and Portales getting some breathing room now. On the double touch that time for the Lady Eagles. And a bad serve on the far side to Blakely, outside the line. Hobbs picks up a freebie there, 17-15 now, down by 2. Returning for the Lady Eagles, Arciana Jimenez. She comes in for Williams. And that'll send Arciana Jimenez back to serve. 17-15, down by 2, the Lady Eagles. Both black squads on the court tonight in their uniforms, and the serve right into the net for Jimenez. Extend the lead to 3 for Portales, 18-15. Terrace Rippey now to serve from the left side of the line. Gets the jump and the turn, and this is going to go just wide outside right, make it left. Good decision by Cantu to get the heck out of there. Might have had some help from Coach Williams that time to say, don't come close to that ball. We don't want to touch on it. Hobbs picks up another point, down 16-18. Here's a serve from Cantu. Down in the middle, nice dig for the Portales libero. And a nice spike to return, but it's just going to be outside, deep left of the court. Turned by Terrace Rippey, 17-18. Hobbs down by 1. Deep on the serve now, Cantu takes a big run and serves it back deep. Libero to libero. Set up near the middle of the net. Scoop over the top by Garcia. Lady Eagles dig it out with Cantu. Then the spike. Going to ricochet off a couple of Hobbs Lady Eagles. A 4-hit for Hobbs. Pinball action going on the front line that time. I don't think it ever did clear the net. 19-17. Go to 25, win by 2. Here's the serve for Payton. Back deep. Nice pass by Jimenez going high. They're just going to try to pass it over, but the Lady Eagles do it 3 times in their own court. Forgot what the count was. And that's going to be a point for Portales to take a 20-17 lead. Coach Williams does not want to let this Game 2 slip away, so she calls the timeout. 2017 Portales in Game 2. Coming back with you in 60 seconds on YouTube.com and HobbsAmerica.com.
Education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
20-17, Portales leading in Game 2. They won the first game 25-21. And they are still serving after the Lady Eagles called the timeout. Payton will serve for Portales. Nice dig for the Lady Eagles. Joseph, then she'll turn and spike after getting a set up. Ball return high for Portales, the middle of the net. A push shot is going to go long and out of bounds on the back line. So Hobbs picks up another point, 18-20, down by 2. Joseph will step up for the serve. Sub for Hobbs as well, Hannah Sauter. She's going to be the server instead, and we got some confusion on who's coming in and who's coming out. A couple of her subs are going to return to the bench for the Lady Eagles, and coach gets who she wants out there. Here's the serve for Sauter down that far sideline. Swung up in the air by Courtney. They'll do a back set on the right side, swing for Blakely, and now the Hobbs Eagles are going to return. Big spike coming from Joseph and hits it right to the deck for the point. So Joseph will pick up her second K of the second game. And now 20-19. Hobbs pulling back into this one, down by 1 here in the second game. Sauter's second serve to the back line. Bumped. And a little push over the top and put it down. So count it there for Adriana Garcia. She just saw that opening on that far sideline. Hobbs left a gap there and puts it through for the point to make it 21-19. 2-point lead for the Rams. So we get down to the wire in Game 2. The jump serve for Garcia, back to Joseph on the near side. Ball comes off the net, set from the back line, and now a bump for Disney. They slam it hard over the top by Courtney, and it goes off the hands of 2 defenders for the Eagles, Anthony and Han on that right side. Point for Portales off the shank to the far sideline. 22-19, Portales by 3. And from the serve, be the set for Anthony. Back to the right side. Put it over by hand on the spike. Here comes Portales. They'll go with the lefty spike. The Lady Eagles get a couple shots at it, get it to go over the net. Turned by hand. Here come the Portales Rams to push it back by Payton. Lady Eagles now going to do a tip down that near sideline, but out of bounds. Joseph thought she saw something open down there, but kind of shanked it off for the point for Portales. Makes it 23-19. Time out of the court. We're going to keep it right here. Portales 2 points away from winning game 2. It's 23-19. Of course, the Hobbs Lady Eagles last year in the 5A with the number 12 seed at the state tournament. They had 2 matches and ended up losing to Santa Fe 3-0 and Las Cruces 3-0 before bowing out. Mentioned Portales went up to the state. They went 1-3 in the playoffs. Their win against Maya Mira 3-0, lost to Goddard Academy and Hope Christian. 23-19, Portales with the serve after the Lady Eagles timeout. Serve is dug out by Cantu, set up on the right side. Going up with the spike, his hand, but it ricochets off the net and comes back to the Hobbs side. This will be game point now for Portales, up 24-19. Lady Eagles trying to survive in this match. Like to try to even up the series here, but another serve for Portales. Dug out by Joseph. Set up back to Joseph. She turns and fires. Swung on by Schilling and reset. Spiked by the right side by Courtney. Here come the Lady Eagles. Set up by Anthony, and now a swing, and it's going to go out of bounds. And it seemed like Joseph had a little bit of trouble keeping it on that sideline on the left of her, and this one goes out as well. So the point for Portales in game 2, 25-19 in favor of the Rams. They go up 2-0. We'll come back for game 3 next here at Task Arena. It's live on YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Bills. The florist who's been there for every life moment is just a few years from retirement. And there's an entrepreneur who risked it all to open a restaurant. Lee County State Bank encourages you to shop small first this year. Our local businesses are barely hanging on, and they need our support now more than ever before. Follow Lee County State Bank on Facebook for small business spotlights. Visit us at onlinelcsb.com. Member FDIC.
Did you know that right now is the perfect time to invest in a new home? The interest rates are incredibly low. More than likely, your payments will be lower than rent. Call Robinson & Associates today to get a listing of homes that are within your price range. Robinson & Associates will help you find what you're looking for, whether you're looking to upsize, downsize, or just have questions. Call Robinson & Associates today for a free consultation on how to save you money.
The reviews are in, and TDS TV Plus is, well, a plus. Customers are loving the integration of live TV, recordings, on-demand programming, and streaming apps. Our convenient voice remote is the talk of the town. Our intuitive cloud DVR ensures you never miss a moment. Bundle TDS TV Plus and high-speed internet from $74.95 a month. See what the buzz is about. Order at hellotds.com/TDSTV today. Not available in all areas. Terms and conditions may apply. See website for details.
Everyday specials are going on this week at Thriftway and La Tienda in Hobbs. Family pack lean ground beef, $1.99 a pound. Bone-in sirloin cut pork chops, 99 cents a pound. Jalapeno peppers, 2 pounds for $1. Salad avocados, 4 for $1. Fresh zucchini squash, $1 per pound. Iceberg lettuce, $1 each. For all your grocery specials, La Tienda, 400 East Marlin, and Thriftway, 1317 North Turner in Hobbs. Everyday special.
We're back at Task Arena. Ty Fred in for Brian Coltrane tonight as the Hobbs Lady Eagles in their second match of the afternoon, now into the nighttime hours, as they trail Portales 2-0. Lost game 1, 25-21, and 25-19 in game 2. It'll be Portales serving. The libero, the first serve of the game. Saved by Anthony on the right side. Back over to Portales. Setting it up is Schilling to the left. Little push shot there for Rippey. The Eagles get it back as Turbiatas swipes at it. Spike at the other side by Rebecca Courtney, and the Lady Eagles going to get a chance. Cantu will send it across with the spike from the back line. Now Portales going up big and coming out with the sidewinder. It's Kylie Payton in between two Lady Eagles and going up trying to get the block, Turbiatis and Anthony, but the point for the Rams. They take the early lead, 1-0 here in Game 3. Hobbs has to win this one to keep the match going. The serve touches the net, and then it goes out on the near side. Point for Hobbs. 1-1 your score. Back deep will be Janiah Williams for the Lady Eagles, the outside hitter. One of the size artists up there on the front row for Hobbs normally. Williams taking her time. The jump serve from the right side of the line is bumped towards the net. Another spike opportunity, and there's Payton again. She's got 2 kills in a row for Portales, 3 overall in this match. Hobbs, on the other hand, has 7 for Anaya Joseph. 5 in the first, 2 in the second. 2-1 your score, Portales by 1. Again, this is Game 3. We've got some subs checking in, or at least 1. Well, now there's 2, as Madison Blakely the second, she'll come back to serve. 2-1 lead for Portales. Jump serve comes across, dug out by Cantu, but it goes over the net. Double hand block, return to Hobbs. Bumped over by Cantu to the back line, corner to Courtney. She sets it up to the top of the net, pushed over by Payton, and it goes out of bounds. And I believe it was not touched by Hobbs, so they will get the points. It's close over that far sideline in front of the up ref. 2-2 score. And Cantu will serve for the Lady Eagles. Midline, she likes to take a little run up. Jump serve comes down low on the near side to Rippey, and it goes up underneath the net. As it got off her hands and tried to chase it down was Courtney, and it goes out on the floor underneath. Point for the Lady Eagles, up 3-2. Hobbs have had some early leads in all the matches up to or games up to this one. The Barrel will get it back from the back line on the dig. Turning and firing is Payton from the back line off the spike. At the other side, the Eagles have some miscommunication and a sidewind shot as Joseph in the last second put her left arm up on this near sideline. Thought she got called off by Jimenez and then kind of hesitated, and the ball just shanks off. Point for Portales. We're tied at 3. Serve from the left side of the line. It's going to go way out past the back line of the Lady Eagles court. That was Kinsey Davis on the serve, and Hobbs gets back up 4-3. Serving now will be Hannah Souter, the setter. She's on the right side. Puts it back deep far sideline to Courtney. Set up on the right. Push shot on the near by Rippey. Gets it back as it comes back from the Lady Eagles and knocks it right into the net. Didn't get it really enough height on that one. Actually, that was Payton that time. The point for the Lady Eagles, their biggest lead, 5-3, up by 2. Souter spies on the ball before serving, but it's right in the net. I'm kind of wondering that ball kind of blocked her eyesight a little bit. You got to deal with that mask, too. Depth perception changing quite a bit. We're having to wear those the full match. Point for Portales on the errant serve. Payton now from the left side of the line. Gets it low over the net. Joseph with a bump. Gets it back after they set from Anthony. Fires hard to the back line right. And they're going to say a net foul, I believe, on Portales. That was Terrace Rippey, so they're going to get the point for the Lady Eagles. Go up 6-4. Of course, Hobbs won Game 3 the last time they played on March 9th, 25-20, Portales. Double hit coming off. Actually, not a double hit. It hit 2 players. It wasn't illegal. It just ping-ponged against them. As they went down to the floor near the back line. And another point for the Lady Eagles. Their biggest lead is 3, 7-4. Returning a serve is Joseph. Shanked off on the left corner by her opponent, number 7, Reagan Courtney, and it goes out to the fan section on the far side, and that's going to give a timeout for Coach Ruth Chavez to talk to her team. Their biggest deficit with the Lady Eagles now is 8-4. We'll take a break live here on YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. Back here at Task Arena, 8-4 after a quick timeout. Hobbs back to serve after Portales took a breather. Joseph's going to serve it long, but it's low. Dug out by Reagan Courtney, saved out of bounds by Blakely and put back over. Set by Anthony, right side. Sidewinder hook there by Hand. Here come Portales with a jam on the left side with the spike. That was Reagan Courtney getting up high and got it between two of the Eagle defenders, Williams and Anthony, on that right sideline, right in front of the referee's cage there, and shanks it off out of bounds. 8-5. Hobbs up by 3 still. So we await the serve. Riley Schillings from the left. Set up on the far sideline by Joseph. Go back door to Williams with the spike. Goes back deep. Portales able to dig it out. Going up high is Courtney again. Dug out by Joseph. And Joseph will get another shot as it was passed back to her by Anthony. Here comes Portales with a tip. Barely gets over the net by Garcia. Hobbs has 3 people trying to track it down in front of the padding on the left side of the net. And the ball trickles out of bounds. So it looked like they were trying to avoid head crosses by all 3. As Portales picks up another point, trailing 8-6. Serve from Schillings. Back deep to Hand. Knocks it over to Anthony on the right wing. Setting up Joseph, and the spike, the kill. Middle of the court that time. Saw a big opening towards the backline middle and slaps it down home. That's her 8th kill of this match. We're in game 3 now. Hobbs up 9-6. Picking up the point. Serve barely gets over. Dug out by the libero for Portales. Courtney. Set up by Anthony, middle of the net. Bump over by Turbiatis. Set up on the left by Schilling, and then a touch over the top. Saved on the far side by Hand for the Lady Eagles, and back over to Portales. Set by Schilling. To the right side, swung at by Courtney, gets over to Hobbs. A little push play by Turbiatis at the top of the net. She had a great court sense there. The gap was over there by the sideline, far side. And gets the 10th point for the Lady Eagles. They know it's desperation here. They've got to get the win to stay alive. Serve comes over, set on the right side for Schilling. Behind her is Courtney, slams it down. Dug out by Joseph. Backdoor is Williams after the set with the spike into Portales, who's able to cover. Two-handing it over is Rippey. Saved on the far side by Anthony. And running at it, Joseph shanks it over. Portales gets a spike as it comes over the top of the net. Garcia saved as it bounces off and put back with a one-hand jammer by Courtney. Set up by Hand with a double-hand pass. Spike by Williams over. Saved by Portales. Courtney tips it over. Also gets a piece of Turbiatis' hand in the middle of the court. She tried to reach up for it, and it looks like she's kind of shaking her hand off. It's kind of a zinger that time as it rolls off on the ground. And it will be a Portales point, down 10-7. Lady Eagles by 3. Quick serve now for the libero, middle of the line. And a little bit too quick. She puts it right in the middle of the net on her side of the court. Hobbs picks up another point. Cheapy there, 11-7. And coming in now, Sari Gutierrez. Wisdom Anthony, the Hobbs server, up by 4, 11-7. Coach Williams calls for a time here, at least for her team, to settle down before the serve. And as 4 of her players are going to get in kind of a meeting look here, I'm not sure what's going on. For the 5 of the Hobbs Lady Eagles are in a little bit of a meeting place now. I think they're getting some balls retracked. That's what's going on. There's balls being cleaned and brought back over to get reset. It looks like the down referee is at the scores table too. So I was wondering why Coach Williams is pointing to her team to get in a huddle, because that was not a timeout officially for her, but I noticed the down referee is not nowhere to be seen. She's at the table, which is on our side, hidden from view. Hobbs up by 11-7. This is game 3. Of course, lost the first 2, so it's a must-win for Hobbs to keep this thing going. We should mention that the last time they played, again, 4 games, 3-1 in favor of Portales. Long delay. I'm not sure what the heck's going on here. Nobody asked for a roster check to see if everybody's in order on the court, so I don't think that's the situation. I don't see any signal by the official. She's back out on the court now. It will be Hobbs serving still. Will be Wisdom Anthony up by 4. She's on the right side. Now we got a delay again as Coach Fortuno steps up for a second, the assistant, and I guess she showed Anthony which way to serve this one. And for Portales, Coach Chavez jumped up and wanted to have a confirmation from the official. Now we got 2 meetings again. Both teams are bunched up, and the bottom official has gone to the scores table once again. I'm kind of wondering if maybe there was a correction on the lineups or something. Now they can make corrections before a matchup if there's a clerical error, but this is taking a long delay for some reason. And coaches weren't at the table either, which is kind of surprised that they might be wanting to find out what the heck's going on there at the scores table. Neither one looks like they have any concerns at this point. Hobbs has a little huddle there near the mid logo. Portales is kind of waiting. Spread out of the court to see what's going on. They're going to start the music here. We're going to keep it here. I don't want them to start up too quickly and then have us get behind the action. Of course, earlier today, the Lady Eagles winning 3-0 over Lovington, the Battle of Lee County, and that was their second win of the season. Of course, they beat Artesia on Tuesday, so a good little win streak going on for Hobbs, 2 in a row. Trying to make it 3, but they're down 2-0 to Portales. Portales had a pretty impressive schedule to start this season. They beat Texaco 3-1, Clovis 3-0, Carlsbad 3-1, which is from Hobbs District along with Clovis, and Hobbs beat them 3-1 on the 9th, and Roswell Thursday 3-1. So 4 out of their 5 matches, they've given up 1 game and shut out Clovis. So a couple of opponents from the Hobbs Eagle District. Hobbs Lady Eagles looking ahead on the schedule. They will be playing Roswell on Tuesday, and that will be here at Hobbs. And then Thursday they'll be at Clovis. So starting to get to that district schedule. Boy, this is a very long delay. And it does look like Portales might have had a problem with their lineup because they're now having the official out on the court trying to point people where to go. I don't think there was a coach asking for a roster change or a roster check. This is a very long delay. You usually don't see it take this long, and they even went to the scores table, so whether or not they had somebody written down wrong and had to get everybody regrouped or not, Coach Williams now talking to the bottom official. We got a delay 11-7. Last night we had a 45-minute delay in the football game because of lightning. Was expecting to see some torrential rain from that. A bunch of blue and green clouds moving on the radar, and really didn't come down to where we were at the Watson Stadium just across the parking lot here. But lots of crazy wind today. Boy, dusty mess out there. And we are still waiting for action. The bottom official talking to Coach Williams, and she pointed over at the Portales side, and I'm not sure what this is all about. So this saw the A-OK sign from Coach Williams. She's okay with whatever was transpiring down there, but it's 11-7. Hobbs up by 4. Hopefully that doesn't burn the rally that Hobbs has had in this game. Anthony at the right side of the service line. She'll take a long one and outside the line. Looked like she wanted to place it in that deep left corner of the Portales court, but nobody was down there, but she kind of sailed it down. So a point for Portales, 11-8. They trail. Libero will step up now. Serves in the middle of the line. Eagles dig it over. Comes back to Anthony, and she'll spot up Williams with the spike, and it gets back to her. Doesn't come over the net. And they're going to call 4 hits on that one. Coach Williams didn't like that call a little bit. And now she's going to get a discussion from Turbiantes from the Lady Eagles. Point for Portales, 11-9. Looked like Portales might have got a piece of that one. Serve from the libero goes long. Dug out by Joseph. Cantu gets a double-hand pass on the left side to Williams. Spike, and barely gets inside the back line, right in the little gap there in the middle. Drops down for the point. And now the Lady Eagles by 3, 12-9. Here in the third game. That will send Williams to the line to serve from the right. Leading by 3. Jump serve for Williams. Keeps it back deep. Reagan Courtney keeps it alive. Touch over the top by Payton. Returned by Turbiantes. A slap shot. Goes long from the back line and out. Portales racking up 10 points now to 12 for the Lady Eagles. Returning on the court is Ursiana Jimenez for Hobbs. And Portales waiting for a sub as well as Riley Schillings will leave, and checking in will be Terrace Rippey, and going back to serve Madison Blakely. Portales needing a rally. Hobbs been extending leads from 2 to 4 the last few minutes as Blakely serves from the left side with a jump. Cantu at the dig out. Pass over to the left side to Joseph. Spikes it over. Put up in the air by Faust. And a bump over the top by Rippey. Hobbs going to get a return. Set by Anthony. And trying to slam it down is Turbiantes. This one goes long from the right side of the net. And another point for Portales. They only trail by 1 now, 12-11. Get kind of be nail-biting time here at Tasker Arena for Hobbs fans. Madison Blakely, a jump serve from the left. Sends it deep to the right side. Bumped up by Jimenez. Double hand pass for Turbiatis into Portales' court. Set backside. A spike on the left wing by Courtney. Double block for the Lady Eagles, Turbiatis and Gutierrez. And they're going to also say Courtney on the follow-through hit the net. Actually, that's Payton. And that'll be a point for the Lady Eagles. 13-11, lead by 2 here in the third. The server now Cantu, middle of the line. Back deep to the other libero. She's able to pass it off to the left wing to Rippey. Hard shot down the left corner, make it the right corner. Trying to dive for it is the libero for the Lady Eagles, Cantu. She got her body sprawled on the floor, but could not get the ball lifted up. And a point for Portales. Still a 1-point game, 13-12. Lady Eagles by 1. The serve for Payton from the left corner. Shanked off on the near sideline by Jimenez. Right over the top of her coach's head, Coach Williams. On the air there, and we're tied at 13. Returning is Cantu, the libero for the Lady Eagles. Left side of the court on the serve now. Jump and right into the net on the release. It's a point for Hobbs, back up 14-13. That was Rippey on the serve. So all these serves are very critical in a tight game like this. They have to switch balls out now as Hannah Souter gets out there. Hobbs up 14-13. She'll stay on the ground, kind of a one hopper. I think that got her off balance a little bit, got on her tiptoe and kind of shoved it across the net the best she could, but it went out of bounds on the far sideline. Same sideline she was serving from. Ties it up at 14 on the point for Portales. Hard shot for the serve. Gets tipped over, then a block by Portales. Getting up high on that one was Adriana Garcia to push it down. And that's a point for Portales. Take a 1-point lead. Kylie Payton back to serve. 15-14 Rams. Been a long time since they led. Boy, an ugly serve gets over the net somehow. Returned by Anthony over the top of her head. Set by Blakely. The spike on the left side by Courtney. It does touch a Hobbs Lady Eagle and goes out of bounds. It looked like it might have got off the arm of Souter. That's a point for Portales, who leads 16-14. 2-point lead, their biggest of the game. Payton serves. Double hand return for Cantu up in the air, though. Spike for Lady Eagles and a hard shot for Joseph right in the chest. The back row middle as a ricochet action that time. Hit hard on Payton. And the point for Hobbs to get back within 1, 16-15. Joseph will serve from the left corner. Fires it hard to the right corner. Two-hand push-up for Courtney. Bumped over back to Courtney with a lefty spike. Ball tipped over by the Lady Eagles, put back by Courtney, and here come Portales. They get it back from the Lady Eagles. She'll turn and fire off speed, and it goes past the back line, though. Reagan Courtney could not get it down where she wanted to, and Hobbs picks up a point. We're tied at 16. Back to Joseph. For correction, Turbiatis. Hard serve from the left corner. Out to the far sideline, out of bounds. That was Joseph, excuse me. Got it right the first time. But Portales will pick up a cheapie on that one. 17-16. Riley Schillings now on the left sideline to serve. With a 1-point lead. Again, we're going to 25. Hobbs has to get the win here to keep the match moving. Jump serve. Back deep to the right corner to Joseph. Touched over by Anthony off the pass. They'll set it up near the left side of the net for Portales. Courtney spikes it hard. And it looks like it did get a piece of Cantu near the left corner back line. And then goes out. So Portales picks up a 2-point lead, 18-16. Coach Williams going to talk to the troops. Got to get them pumped up to come back in this one to get the W. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Lady Eagles Network.
La Tienda and Hobbs. Family pack lean ground beef, $1.99 a pound. Bone-in sirloin cut pork chops, 99 cents a pound. Jalapeno peppers, 2 pounds for $1. Salad avocados, 4 for $1. Fresh zucchini squash, $1 per pound. Iceberg lettuce, $1 each. For all your specials, 400 each. And Thriftway, 1317 North Turner in Hobbs.
Back here at Tasker Arena, it's a close one. Portales leads in Game 3, 18-16, up 2-0 at this point. Very critical serve here for Schillings to keep her streak alive and sends it long past the back line right down the middle, but it's too long. And Hobbs picks up a point. They trail now 18-17. Lady Eagles serving. Comes across middle to hand. They'll put the set up. Return on the left side by Courtney with the touch down that far sideline. Trying to dive for it, his hand, but it sails low. Out of play, and a point for Portales. 19-17. They lead by 2. Reagan Courtney to serve now, middle of the line. She jumps and lets it loose. Hits the top of the net, comes over, and then a block was touched, and they might have had a roofing call. Yes, they do. Trying to get it back over for the Lady Eagles was Suter going to the floor, and then a roofing call against Portales. They got over the top of the net, so that'll be a point for Hobbs. As Coach Williams made sure that the official was going to bypass that one. 19-18. Hobbs down by 1. Anthony to serve from the right side. Patty cakes it over. Pass for Courtney up top. Little push over the top of the net by Payton. Pulled out by Cantu. Knocked over for the Lady Eagles by Williams on the left side of the net. They set it up on the right for Portales. Courtney with the spike. Saved by the Lady Eagles. Blake, or make that. Turbiatis flips it over. Here comes Portales. A hard spike right down the middle of the court into Hobbs territory. And it counts for the points. A kill for Portales. And that was Rippey. Portales leads 20-18 by 2 late here in the third game. Serve comes over. Going to be a set for Anthony, middle of the net. Turn and firing. Long, though, is Joseph on the spike. Goes past the back line. And now Portales leading by 3, 21-18. Another timeout for Coach Williams. Hobbs has got to hold on here. Down by 3. Again, they lost the first 2 games of this match. We go the best of 5, so a third game in the pocket of the Rams would be match over. Ty Friend here with you, and for Brian Coltrane, he will be back next week as the Hobbs Lady Eagles will continue on with their schedule as they'll be here at Tasker Arena once again for a matchup with Roswell High. That's a 6:30 start, and then at Clovis on Thursday at 6:45. Now, Saturday as well, they'll be at Carlsbad, and then it'll be the 23rd at Roswell. So 3 road games on a row, the 18th, the 20th, and the 23rd. Serving now for Portales, 21-18, the libero. She kicks it across, picked up by Joseph. They set up, and turning and firing, Turbiatis slams it hard. Portales with a good defense. Returning it back over on the spike was Courtney. Back over for the Hobbs Lady Eagles by Turbiatis. Portales puts it back over. And they're going to get it back from the Lady Eagles. Bumping it is Turbiatis, slapped over by Anthony. Goes long, and it touches the libero in the deep right corner and goes out of bounds on the near side off the shank. And that'll be a point for the Lady Eagles, keeping them in the distance of this match, 21-19. And some big service opportunities here for Janiah Williams. Like to get 6 to win this ball game and move on to the number 4. Williams on the right side of the line. Hard shot to the back line to Courtney. He's able to pass it up. Turning and firing for the Lady Rams, and getting it to go down hard is Rippey. Or correction, make that Payton. No, it was Rippey. Sorry about that. The kill's good for her, and it's 22-19. Madison Blakely back deep for Portales to serve, up by 3. Hobbs going to go back to the bench, bring in Arciana Jimenez. Blakely with the run up to the line and a serve up the far sideline. Bumped by Jimenez, bumped by Joseph up top, and getting it over is Turbiatis. Portales will set up one of their big spikers on the left side, but she nails it right into the net. Kylie Payton got up pretty high, but couldn't get the control on it, and a point for the Lady Eagles. 22-20, going down to the wire here in game 3 as Cameron Cantu, the libero for the Lady Eagles, will serve middle of the line. Gets the run up and the shot across. Other libero gets a piece of it toward the left sideline. Saved and put back over the top by Blakely. Hobbs gets a set left side. Sidewinder spiked by Joseph, and it barely hits inside the back corner line. And gets a point for the Lady Eagles, keeping them alive. Down by 1, 22-21. Here comes Cantu with the jump serve again. Long one this time, and it goes past the back line, unfortunately, to the Rams side of the court, but does not drop in first. 23-21. Lady Eagles down by 2. Got to play some tough D here to keep in this one. Terrace Rippey to serve, left side of the line. Gets down low. Lady Eagles able to dig it, and they get a set up to Joseph. Sends it hard over the line, or the net. Portales going to spot it up, and pass was going out of bounds. Reagan Courtney just tried to tip it inside that left antenna, but it's out of bounds. So a point for the Lady Eagles. Pull within 1, 23-22. Remember, you have to win by 2. And now Hannah Suter is going to step in. Souter. She needs 3 to win. On consecutive serves. Goes back deep to the left corner. Bumped up by Courtney. Set up at the top for Blakely. And they have to set it over by Rippey. Tip for the Lady Eagles. Pushing it over was Anthony. And now a tip going to the other side by Payton. Back over by the Lady Eagles. Nice dig for Hand. They'll set up on the right side. Tip shot for Portales by Rippey. And a double hand push by Courtney. Here come the Lady Eagles. Big time spike on the left side of the net. Going up big was Joseph to kill it home. That's 9 Ks for her, and we got a timeout. We're tied at 23. Portales needs to talk about it. And now some critical points for either team. Win by 2. 25 would be the winner here if consecutive points are scored. We'll keep it here at Tasker Arena. Coaches are getting very animated in their huddles here. Portales breaks it quickly as they're back on the court, as Coach Chavez does not want to get their juices tired off any here on the timeout. They want them out of the court to burn them off. As coming in now for the Lady Eagles to serve will be Hannah Souter. Hopefully she can get 2 aces to end this ball game, 23-23. At least this game, we still got a best of 5 going on. Keeps it high, dug out by Courtney, set on the right side, and the spike by Rippey, put back over on the pass for Anthony, and it goes out of bounds on the near side. She came back on the one hit instead of passing it back to the teammates, and that time overshot that near sideline. So a point for Portales. This is match point here. They lead 24-23. Kylie Payton will serve for Portales. Rams fans on their feet, gets it over, bump for Joseph, setting up Anthony, back to Joseph, turns and fires the spike, but right into the left net. And unfortunately, that'll be the ball game. The closest game of the 3-game set, 25-23 in favor of Portales to win 3-0. It was 25-21, 25-19, and 25-23. So the Hobbs Eagles win game or match 1 against Lovington 3-0, but lose this second match of the day, getting in the nighttime hours here. It was 3-0. We'll take a 2-minute break and wrap it up here from Tasker Arena. You're listening to Hobbs Lady Eagles Volleyball on both HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube.
Your comfort is our concern. Tech air conditioning and heating. For heating and air, it's all you need. Great same-day service, guaranteed. Friendly, fast, professional too. Tech, get the done right first time. Your comfort is our concern. Tech air conditioning and heating. Call 392-5307. Tech.
See our ad on page 6 in names and numbers.
Devon Energy is proud to support the athletic programs of Hobbs High School this season. By partnering with local schools in Hobbs, Devon is making an investment in the long-term future of the community. Sports teach discipline, teamwork, and leadership. Skills our youth will use to succeed for a lifetime. From the Devon team to yours, Devon Energy wishes you good luck this season, both on the field and in the classroom. Go Eagles!
What exactly do you look for when choosing a bank? The choice is clear. First American Bank has been helping customers like you since 1903. That's over 100 years of banking expertise and knowledge at your convenience. First American Bank takes pride in helping small business from banking to lending. They get it done. First American Bank in Hobbs takes the time to sit and understand your business. This helps them help you. Call First American Bank in Hobbs today at 575-392-9200.
Whatever your tire needs may be, you can always count on Forest Tire. Whether it's roadside assistance, a new battery, brakes, an alignment, a new set of tires for around town, off-road or work, or just a flat tire, being there is what matters most. That's why Michelin packs more innovation inside its tires to maximize performances without sacrificing capabilities, so you can continue to go the extra mile to be there for the ones who matter most. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
COVID-19, market volatility, earthquakes, recent layoffs, we've all been impacted during these turbulent times. I'm Shane Wesselter, CEO and founder of Gateway Insurance Group, Gateway Financial Advisors. With over 200 offices and representing all 50 states, we can help. Whether you have questions about the market volatility, whether you should buy, sell, or just write it out, whether you have questions about rolling your 401k to a private IRA, maybe you have questions about the recent premium deferral program for auto and home insurance. Regardless of what your questions are, give us a call, 858-GATEWAY. We are open and have staff and advisors willing to assist. In New Mexico, we have offices in Albuquerque, Clovis, Hobbs, and Santa Fe. We're happy to assist, even if we're not your current advisor. In New Mexico, you can give us a call at 505-585-5595.
For the local Hobbs office, call 393-4577.
We're all in this together. Be smart and stay healthy.
Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer, and member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Gateway Financial Advisors Incorporated and Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated are not affiliates.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
That coffee shop owner down the street is trying to pay tuition bills. The florist who's been there for every life moment is just a few years from retirement. And there's an entrepreneur who risked it all to open a restaurant. Lee County State Bank encourages you to shop small first this year. Our local businesses are barely hanging on, and they need our support now more than ever before. Follow Lee County State Bank on Facebook for small business spotlights. Visit us at onlinelcsb.com. Member FDIC.
Did you know that right now is the perfect time to invest in a new home? The interest rates are incredibly low. More than likely, your payments will be lower than rent. Call Robinson & Associates today to get a listing of homes that are within your price range. Robinson & Associates will help you find what you're looking for, whether you're looking to upsize, downsize, or just have questions. Call Robinson & Associates today for a free consultation on how to save you money.
We're back at Task Arena. The Hobbs Lady Eagles finishing up their three-game match with Portales and unfortunately losing 3-0, 25-21, 25-19, and 25-23. I'm Ty Friend here, sitting in for Coach Brian Coltrane, who will be back next week. And this was a very hard-fought battle for the Lady Eagles. Again, that last game looked like Hobbs was going to take the win there, leading by 2 late. But a little bit of errors near that near sideline on a couple pushes over the net. Unfortunately, cost them in the end. But very hard-fought battle. Of course, even had 21 in Game 1 and 19 in Game 2. So definitely some good production coming up for Hobbs. Unofficially, 9 kills for Anaya Joseph, a couple for Turbiatis. And those were the top offensive players for Hobbs in terms of the big stuff, the heavy tank artillery coming over the net. So the Lady Eagles do lose this one, but they 2-4 record after getting the win earlier today on Lovington. They beat them final 3-0. So a lot of volleyball action today here at Tasker Arena. Looking ahead on the schedule, we mentioned this earlier, but let's go through this one more time in terms of the schedule coming up this week. Hobbs, after having a doubleheader today, will be at home again at Tasker on Tuesday. They will host Roswell High at 6:30 p.m. Followed up on Thursday at Clovis. That'll be a 6:45 start time up the road. And then next Saturday, they will be at Carlsbad. So that's 2 road games coming up Thursday and Saturday. Now, we will have a video coverage on YouTube on Tuesday's matchup with Roswell. Probably not on Thursday at Clovis, and there's a question mark on the video, at least on Saturday. Now, they will have audio coverage on all 3 of those games, but video for sure, again, on that Tuesday matchup with Roswell, and a question mark for the Carlsbad game on the 20th. So that kind of gives you an idea about what to look forward to when it comes to volleyball. We do have some soccer coming up next week with the Hobbs boys and girls. That will also be on the YouTube channel for the Hobbs Eagles Sports. And, of course, we also cover football. We got Carlsbad next Friday night. The Hobbs Eagles will be in Carlsbad. That'll be a 6:45 pregame, and the kickoff at 7 o'clock. So definitely we'll get you all the action there. More than likely that'll be a radio game on Cool 95.7 and also some audio on the internet for that contest. Don't forget, too, that we do cover all Lee County teams with the exception of JAL at this point. So we do have volleyball. We do have some football for you in different venues and, of course, soccer. So make sure you're hooking up with No Mark Broadcasting on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Again, the final score tonight's matchup, it's Portales 3, your Hobbs Lady Eagles nothing. And again, we'll have Brian Coltrane back next week for all the Hobbs Lady Eagle volleyball action. Thanks for being with me tonight, Ty Friends signing off, and have a great weekend out there. Make sure you don't get blown away with all that wind.